All right, today we're looking at Eulero, which is a kind of Sudoku variant. It's essentially two Sudokus superimposed one upon the other, and we've got one which is using numbers, just the numbers from 1 to 4 in this grid because it's a 4x4, and one which is using the letters from A to D. And the objective is to fill the grid with number and letter combinations or pairs. So as with normal Sudoku, we can't repeat any number within a row or column. Equally, we can't repeat any letter within a row or column. And we have one extra constraint, and that is that we cannot repeat a number-letter pair anywhere on the grid. I'm going to start with this very simple. This is a 2-star. We have got some slightly simpler ones, but they're really easy. We'll start with this 2-star puzzle. This is from a back issue of Puzzle Weekly. That's our free magazine. And this just gives you an overview of how we play Eulero. We don't need any complicated logic, and we don't really need to note any candidate numbers or letters in this grid. It's pretty simple. So the easiest way to attack this is to look at each part of the Sudoku individually. So obviously this second row here is going to be the easiest place to start because we're only missing one number. We've got all of our letter components. And we're only missing one number. We're missing the 1, which obviously has to go in here. So we can write that in now. And let's have a look at this column, because this column only has one missing letter. We've got A, C, and B. So we're obviously missing a D in the top cell. We can write that in. Where next? Well, I'm going to go back to numbers, because if we look in this column on the end here, we have 1 and a 3. We're missing the 2 and a 4. We know that we help put the 4 up here because we've got a conflict with the 4 that's already in this row. So that must be our 2. Meaning our 4 goes down the bottom. Do the same kind of thing over here, but this time with letters. We've got the A and the D. So we're missing the D and the C, aren't we? The B and the C have to go here. We've got a B and the C here. So we have to flip them around the other way so that they don't conflict. So that's our B and C. And if we do the same thing in this column, we're missing an A and a C. Well, we can't put the A up here because it's this one. So that has to be a C, meaning this is our A. And now that we've got 3 letters in here, we know that we must put our D down here. That just leaves 2 missing letters in this column. What's that? A and B. Well, we've got A and B here. So again, that tells us which way around they go. And then come over the end. But these 2, we need 2 numbers. We've got 3 or 4 up here, so we need 1 and 2. The 2 in here means it can't go there, so we have to put our 2 in the bottom. And our 1 here, which there's only 1 missing number on this row, 4 in here. And that leaves us with an interesting situation, because in this top row, we're missing a 1 and a 3. So one of these is a 1, one of them is a 3. We have exactly the same thing going on down here. We're missing a 1 and a 3. Now, in theory, I'm going to do this using different colours just to show you. We could make this a 3, this a 1, this a 3, and this a 1. Or what? We could make this a 1, this a 3, this a 1, and this a 3. We're not duplicating any numbers in any row or column. So how do we know which is the correct solution? Well, the answer, of course, is that we have our third rule, the rule that you don't get in normal Sudoku, that we cannot duplicate number or letter pairs. So if we start at the top and look at this one up here, we say that it's going to be either C1 or C3. We've already got the cell here with a C1 in it. So it cannot be C1, it has to be C3. And we could do the same thing by looking at any of these other cells. This one, is it a D3 or a D1? We've got a D3, haven't we? And then here, B1 or B3, we've got a B1, an A3 or A1, we've got an A3. So that's how we work out which is the correct solution. So just to go back round and fill this in again then. So we said this is a 1 or a 3, we've got an A3, so it has to be a 1, which makes that C3, that D1, and that B3, and that's it. We've completed that very easy, admittedly, Eulero puzzle, though no difficult deduction involved in that, just simple logic. Although we did use all 3 rules to solve the puzzle. Once you get to about 3 stars and above in the level, you start to need to make notes of candidate numbers and letters, because these get considerably more complicated. As I say, this one's from a back issue of Puzzle Weekly. That's our free weekly magazine, 28 new puzzles every week. And there's a link in the description. And there's also a link in the description to our online tutorial of this puzzle, and you can download some sample puzzles if you want to have a go yourself.
Hi, I'm Dora. Don't forget, you can get our Puzzle Weekly magazine delivered to you every Monday, completely free. Visit the link to get your copy.